Well, hello Nancy Drew fans and welcome back. I am about to do another playthrough. I'm going to be playing Secret of the Old Clock, and I have such fond memories of this game and I'm really excited to play it. Just a little background, if you're new to my videos, I am a former moderator for Her Interactive. I left there, I don't remember today how many years ago, maybe 8. But I have some very fond memories of that time, as well as just being a regular Nancy Drew fan. And with regard to Secret of the Old Clock, I have some very strong memories of when I first got this game. I had been away in Europe for 3 weeks, and I came home, and the game was in the mailbox. I was very excited. Very next morning, still super jet-lagged, woke up super early, and decided to dive into the game almost right away. It actually took about an hour just to go over the moderating and check out any reports I had to deal with. But then, about an hour later, I jumped into playing this game, and it was so much fun. It was nice to be able to play it in summer, because I feel like this is a very light, sort of summery game. And it was just so much fun, and I really like that this is based off of some of the classic games. As you can tell, it's called Secret of the Old Clock. Did you know it is based on more than just the book, The Secret of the Old Clock? It's based on the first 4 books, in fact. So, and I've already started to read some of the books that the game is based on, and it's been very fun to see all the connections, to see what's been pulled, and I'm going to continue doing that after I finish playing the game, and eventually you'll see my comparison video for the books to game transition, which will be really neat, I think. And of course, I should actually say there is a spoiler alert. In fact, I've been terrible about not doing that with the majority of the games, because I do tend to sort of make comments about who the culprit is while I'm playing the game, because I've played them so many times and I know what's actually going on. So there's your spoiler alert, everyone, and without further ado, let's play this game.
Welcome to my latest case, The Secret of the Old Clock. To start, choose Junior or Senior Detective. If you're new to adventure games or need some help, click on Tutorials.
Alrighty, let's select Senior Detective.
The year, 1930. The place, the road to Titusville, where we find Nancy Drew behind the wheel of her blue roadster, pondering this question. Why did Emily Crandall, a girl whom Nancy knows only through their mutual friend Helen Corning, ask Nancy to drive all the way out to the Lilac Inn to see her? Does it have something to do with the fact that Emily's mother died barely a month earlier, leaving Emily to run the restaurant with only her guardian to help her? And more important, why, when she called, did Emily sound so desperate? The spunky teenager turns off the main road, blissfully unaware that Emily isn't all that waits her at the end of the driveway. No, Nancy Drew is about to get her first taste of the mystery, intrigue, and adventure that are to become her destiny.
Alright, so there's our introduction, and it's really neat. So for this game, they've really set it back into the 1930s. I'm assuming it's 1930s. That's when the books were first written. The first 4 or 5, I think, were released in 1930. And so for this game, they're sort of paying homage to that. I think that's partly because this is meant to be inspired primarily on the first book, or at least the title's taken from the first book. So Her Interactive really put in this effort to highlight that time and to just to make this game stand out in a few different ways, and I think it's really appropriate. I also like that Helen Corning is mentioned. For those who've read the books, you may realize or have noticed you don't hear about her much in the later books. She's in the first few. Certainly she's in the first 2 books, because I've recently reread those. But we don't hear about her all that often later on, so I really like that and really wanted to point that out. So let's get going.
Well, hello. I'll bet my bloomers you're Nancy Drew.
Old-timey sentences and expressions.
That's right. Are you Emily's guardian?
You got it. I'm Jane Willoughby. I'm Emily's guardian, but only for the next 3 months until she turns 18. Then she's on her own.
It smells like someone's been baking pies.
Pies are the Lilac Inn specialty. We get orders from all over. Oh, that reminds me, your father called. You're supposed to call him. You can use the coin phone on the porch. Emily didn't say anything about you coming until just this morning.
Is it okay that I'm here?
Don't get me wrong, she can invite anybody here she wants. It's just that she's gotten so darn forgetful lately.
Maybe she's just, you know, still thinking about her mom.
She misses her mom, that's for sure. So do I. Gloria and me, we were best friends, you know? The two of us ran this swell little dress shop over in Capital City. But then she got hitched and I didn't. And the next thing I know, she's writing me saying it would sure take a load off her mind if I could take care of her little girl should something ever happen to her.
So we get a little bit of history there about Jane's role.
Emily's father...
Died in the war. Cantigny, I think. Anyway, I couldn't say no. I mean, what are best friends for? I just wish I knew how to help Emily.
You make it sound like she's in some kind of trouble.
She's been acting so... Look, go talk to her. She probably just needs to spend some time with a bear cat like you instead of some dumb Dora like me. Go on up, she's in her room. Just make like a Boy Scout and be prepared.
Alrighty. So let's go meet Emily. Oh, I really like her window seat, by the way. I sort of had one in one of the houses I grew up in. I mean, it wasn't built with the purpose of being sat on. It was actually more for holding objects. Like, it was more decorative, I guess, is the best way to put it. But I used to try and sit on it. It wasn't very comfortable. It was pretty narrow.
Nancy, hi. Welcome to the Lilac Inn. Oh, and before I forget, thank you for that nice note you sent me when Mom died. It meant a lot to me.
Nancy would know what that's like. She can relate to some degree.
Well, I lost my mom too, years ago. I kind of know how you feel.
You and I may not be best friends or anything, but you're still one of the nicest people I know.
That second one is almost insulting. I'm not gonna select that.
Well, thank you.
That's why I'm hoping you'll do me a favor. A big favor. You and your dad.
What kind of favor?
Shh!
What's wrong?
I thought I heard something. Your father has a safe, right?
Yep, so it is 1930.
This is 1930. Lots of people have safes.
See this jewelry? I'd like you to take it home with you and put it in your father's safe.
It's beautiful.
It was my mother's. The few times I saw her wear it, she looked just like a movie star. I was hiding it here in my room, but all things considered, I'd feel a lot better if you would just take it home and have your father lock it up in his safe.
What do you mean, all things considered?
Strange things have been going on around here. That's all I can say. I know it sounds loony, and Jane probably told you that I've been acting loony, but please do this for me.
Oh dear.
What was that?
Emily, come downstairs, quick! The kitchen's on fire!
Come on, we better get out of here.
This is horrible, just horrible. The fire chief says the stove was completely destroyed and there's smoke damage everywhere. The inn will have to shut down for months, maybe even for good.
And that's their livelihood affected by that. And also, doesn't that remind anyone of the curse of Blackmore Manor? We have a second kitchen that we may not go into. Completely unusable.
Does he know what caused the explosion?
It looked to him like one of the burners on the stove had been left on. The flame either went out or was never lit, but anyway, something made a spark and boom. He said insurance companies are very reluctant to pay out when things look hinky, and that's when times are good.
Who was in the kitchen this morning?
Emily was the last person to use the stove. Like I said, she's been real forgetful lately. I think she's pretty upset, but it's not her fault. What with her mom passing away barely a month ago, and me showing up, this total stranger who doesn't know the first thing about kids or running a restaurant, and her trying to do everything all by herself. It's just too much, that's all. Who wouldn't go a little off their nut? I better get that. The line to the regular phone got burned up in the fire, so now the only phone we got is the coin phone on the porch. Excuse me.
Oh no!
Emily?
I like that, that we sort of have Nancy look up and is automatically taken up to the room here. I like that
My
sequence.
mother's jewelry! It's gone! Someone must have stolen it while we were all downstairs. I knew something like this was going to happen. I just knew it.
I also like sort of looking over, I shouldn't say sort of, clearly, looking over Emily's shoulder and seeing the empty jewelry box. It's very dramatic. And there were a lot of things that are done in this game that seemed really fresh and new and, I don't know, innovative is almost the way to put it, and I'll point them out as we get to them, but I really like these little animated sequences that we get to observe. And I normally like to be like fully involved, but I think it's effective and so short as far as how much time it takes in these cases that it's done really well. It's implemented in a smart way. And like I already said, sort of adds to the dramatics in a favorable way.
You mean this sort of thing has happened before?
Yes. No. I'd rather not say, but I will say this. I did not leave the stove on. That fire was not my fault. Oh, what am I going to do? Without that jewelry, I don't have a prayer of paying for a new stove, and without a stove, I'll have to sell the inn, and if I lose the inn... I wish Mom were still here. I wish Josiah Crowley had left us the money like he always said he was going to. That's what I wish.
Who's Josiah Crowley?
He was this old man that lived next door. He died last year. He spent most of his time here at the inn, and he led my mom and me to believe that he'd left a lot of money for us in his will. He gave us a clock, and afterwards, he'd always point to it and get this little twinkle in his eye and say, "Time will tell." But when they finally found his will, he didn't leave us a penny.
And here's sort of the main part of our mystery.
Maybe he didn't leave you anything because he didn't have anything.
Oh, he didn't act like it, but he was rich. His estate was worth almost $250,000. Everything went to Richard Topham. He's this man who claims to be able to help people develop their paranormal powers.
So I thought of this after I had made my selection on the last set of options, but that was a really great instance, one of the few instances where there were 3 possible choices for Nancy to make, which was really nice. Quite often when we're given options, we've got 2, like right now. But yeah, I just really wanted to highlight that, even though it's past. But it's always really nice when Nancy's giving us much autonomy, or we as a player, as Nancy, are given that autonomy to make those choices and decide what questions she wants to pose or responses she'd like to make.
Why do you suppose Josiah left everything to him?
Josiah was kind of a screwball. One time he showed up at my birthday party dressed as my great-aunt Harriet. I didn't know it was really him until 2 days later. Anyway, he had all these weird hobbies, and he always thought it would be really keen to read minds. Josiah invited Richard Topham to move in so Topham could help him develop his paranormal powers right there in his house. Josiah was a sweet old man, and I do miss him. And he was free to give his money to whomever he wanted. But to get our hopes up like that, and then leave us nothing, it just wasn't like him.
With the previous set of dialogue here, just before the screen changed, if you will, I really like that Emily has this little laugh she's incorporated, or this giggle. It really stands out, but it also adds depth. It goes beyond just the writing on the page, and the voice actress was really good for that. And I don't know if that was written in and just not included on the typed dialogue in the game, or if that actually was her choice, but it was good. I really like that. I've always appreciated that in this game.
Where is Richard Topham now?
He still lives in Josiah's house, which is right down the path out back. His house and the inn were built at the same time by 2 brothers during the Civil War.
How many people knew you kept your mother's jewelry in here?
No one. Well, Jane, my guardian, she knew, but I didn't tell anyone else.
Was your mother's jewelry insured?
Gosh, I forgot about that. I don't know. Jim Archer, I bet he'd know. He's our banker. I guess I should go talk to him.
You don't sound very happy about it.
I'm just so bad at business things. And Jane, my guardian, she tries hard, but she's no good at it either. Maybe you could go talk to him. Please? It would be such a big help.
Sure.
He runs the Main Street Bank. You can't miss it. I'll call him and tell him you're coming.
I'll be back in a little bit.
Don't forget to call your father.
Yes, Mom. Yeah, I'll make sure Nancy does that. And you know what, I'm not going to play that. But yeah, it's nice. We've got a gramophone there. This is important. Gloria, read this, and pretty soon this fellow will be your favorite poet too. Your pal Josiah. Anyhow, Omar. That's what we need to remember. Old sewing machine. Looks like an old singer.
Is this your sewing machine? Actually, that belonged to my mom. She and Jane used to be dressmakers. Mom was going to teach me how to use it, but she never got the chance.
We had an old sewing machine like this in the house for years. It was finally sold, or might have been donated, I don't know, 5 years ago or so. Yeah. I'm very aware of the colors in this game. Like, they're not super bright and bold. They're a bit more pastel, paler in color, and I wonder if that's meant to set the tone. I mean, when you watch films that are set in the olden days, if you will, you often see that the colors are not as bright. And I wonder if that's meant, if that's been done intentionally in this game to help illustrate an older time. And as my dad repeatedly tells me, things were just as bright and bold back then. Well, I mean, he wasn't born in the 30s, but I mean, back in the 50s and 60s, things were as bright and colorful as they are today. I think it just has to do with maybe the way film fades over time and people associate these faded pastel colors with the past. That's a possibility. I love this track, by the way. This game has one of the best soundtracks of the entire series. I listen to this game quite often when I'm at work. At my current job, at one of my former jobs. I used to work in a vintage book department, and so we always wanted to play like old-timey music, so whenever I opened, I would put on the soundtrack. Very suitable and just nice and lively and upbeat, this song in particular. I should make note of these symbols. You know what, let me see, do I have them already written down? Dig out some notes that I have in my case here. I made a note, apparently, of all the ponies I won playing mini golf. You guys will see that at some point. Yep, here we go. Excellent. I don't have to jot these down. Ooh, that was low. This is important. I'm not going to actually read it right now, but, or not read it out loud, I'm not going to take the time to read it, but it has a role, if you will, in the game. Or the information you gain from it is useful. Oh yes, let's play Bard Bounce, based on A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. I like that play. Okay. What is the best sequence to do things? This should be second last. And this will be last. Yeah, so red and green could be last. So let's maybe try and get yellow. And then blue. Or I could do blue right now. Sure, why not? And then I'll do yellow. Oh, my recording bar's in the way. Is there another place I can send this? Because I don't think I'll be able to send it if I throw it up here. This thing is really irritating. This is a weird way to do this, but it might just work. Oh, good way to get green done as well, apparently. But I don't want to do green just yet. Yeah, there's a much simpler way to do this, you guys, just so you know. I am doing this a weird way because of this bar that you cannot see. Alright. Could do green next, but I need this guy for doing red. Shoot. And there are two ways I can do this. But well, let's see. Can I send this in any direction? I briefly saw it red. Oh. Okay. Can I send it down? No. Alright. Bear with me. You're going to suddenly see everything in place. Okay, they're not totally in place. They're about to go where they need to go. There we go. Yay, I'm keen. That's your prize. Okay, let's maybe speak with Jane.
So, is Emily all right?
Someone stole her mother's jewelry.
What?
That reminds me of Lucas from The Captive Curse. We'll get there in some months from now.
She was showing it to me just before the explosion. Now it's gone.
Someone stole it while everybody was rushing around trying to put out the fire? Hypers! You can't trust a fireman. Who can you trust?
Are you sure no one besides you and Emily was in the kitchen this morning?
Positive. Well, I suppose someone could have snuck in the back door. Are you saying someone caused that fire on purpose? To distract us?
Emily swears she turned the stove off after she used it.
But I'm the only one who knew she had that jewelry. Well, it's not quite true. When Gloria was alive, she could have told people about it, or people may have seen her wearing it. And when she died, they knew the jewelry had to be around here somewhere, right?
Does anyone in particular come to mind?
Sorry. It's been hard enough getting to know Emily, let alone anyone else in this backwater burg. Well, guess better go call the sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your car I saw when I drove up the driveway?
My old rust bucket's parked out back where nobody'll see it. Be nice to buy something decent, but last time I checked, my last name was Willoughby, not Rockefeller.
Where did that barred bounce game that's in the parlor come from? Do you know?
Emily says Josiah Crowley brought it in one day and just left it. Said it was so guests, as in him, would have something to do while they waited for a table.
Oh, funny. He was quirky, they say.
Well, I'll talk to you later.
Don't take any wooden nickels.
Pretty sure Millie Strathorn says that too. Don't take any wooden nickels. Alright.
Drop a nickel into the slot, please. There we go. Now, how may I be of service?
I'd like to talk to Carson Drew. His number is KL57187.
Hang on a minute.
It's weird seeing letters in a phone number.
Speaking.
Hi, Dad.
Well, I see you got to Titusville okay.
I got your message. Is something wrong?
No, everything's fine. I need to get some documents from a colleague over there. I thought since you were in the area, you could pick them up. Save him paying postage.
Sure. What's the address?
He said he'd just leave them for you at the telegraph office. Just drive into town and look for Tubby Telegrams. He said you can't miss it.
Will do.
These papers are extremely important, Nancy.
I will pick them up, Dad.
Good. Remember, watch your gas gauge and get gas when you're low so you don't run out. And try to avoid potholes. The more you hit, the likely it is you'll wind up with a flat.
This is for
Yes,
the gamer,
Dad.
not
And
Nancy.
if you do get a flat, take it off and put on your spare. And then head straight to a gas station and get it fixed.
Yes, Dad.
All right, lecture over. Have you found out why Miss Crandall asked you to visit?
She wanted me to have you lock her mother's jewelry up in your safe. Only someone stole it before I could take it with me.
Stole it? Good gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Emily led me to believe a lot of strange things have been happening at the inn lately.
Sounds to me like you'd be well advised to cut your visit there short.
No.
No, I want to find out what's going on. I have to find out what's going on.
You have to?
Well,
Yes.
yeah, you know. Emily just lost her mom, and she's worried about losing the inn, and her guardian's all wet when it comes to helping out, and...
And the truth is, you are so curious that you feel like you'll absolutely burst if you don't find out why all these weird things have been happening, right?
But of
Yes.
course.
Don't worry, I know the feeling. You're a chip off the old block, I'm afraid. Well, as long as you're like me in one other way, you should be fine.
What way is that? Smart?
Smart Alec.
If somebody says they're going to leave you something in their will, and then doesn't, is there anything you can do about it?
Not a thing. Whatever's in writing is the only thing that counts, unless, of course, the will was tampered with or forged, and you can prove it. If not, you're out of luck. Why do you ask?
Emily's neighbor, Josiah Crowley, told her and her mom that they were going to inherit part of his estate. But when he died, his will left everything to this ESP expert named Richard Topham.
Expert.
That's too bad, but this Crowley fellow was free to leave whatever he wanted to whomever he wanted, I'm afraid. People do change their minds, you know.
ESP expert. I feel like that's like an oxymoron or a paradox. Can't remember what the difference is at this moment, but you can't be an expert in ESP, honestly. It'd be nice, but it's not possible.
I met Emily's guardian, Jane. What does a guardian do, anyway?
A guardian is pretty much a surrogate parent. Jane is legally responsible for Emily's physical and financial well-being.
Jane doesn't strike me as being the parental type. In fact, I get the impression she's in way over her head.
Fortunately for her, it's not forever. Most guardianships end when the ward turns 18. And then both Jane and Emily will be free to do whatever they please.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Let's go with this one.
If Emily sells the inn, will Jane get part of the profits?
If she's Emily's guardian at the time of the sale, yes. Are you suggesting that Jane's primary motivation is greed? Good grief, where did you get such a suspicious mind?
I think it was from the person who has always told me that the best way to solve a problem is to look at all the possibilities. Dad.
I did say that, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. Apparently.
Goodbye, Dad.
Keep in touch.
Alrighty. Pardon me. So, before we head into town, let's explore the property here. It should be, there it is. Come on.
Looks like
There we go.
someone recently had a key appraised.
Sometimes I can't catch that paper and I have to catch it over here. So, mini
A
golf.
miniature golf course. Swell.
Now this is not pale and pastel, this is bright, bold, and in your face. It's kind of cool. Pay 10 cents. I have $3.40. Let's play. Let's see how many attempts. Oh man, this is the thing I pity viewers for. You might have to fast forward, because I don't know how many attempts it's going to take. Oh, I love that pneumatic tube. Anyhow. Try it once. Oh, right. This is like Mastermind. I love this. So I'll play mini golf in a moment. Alright. Let's see. Just do one of each color. So I've got two that are in the right space, as well as obviously being the right color. So I'm gonna, this is my method. You only change one at a time. So right now I'm trying to figure out if blue was right or wrong. Okay, so we see things have changed, which means blue was in the right place, but also orange is the right color, but in the wrong place. So I'm going to put the blue back. I'll throw orange up here, red and yellow. So now, basically the change, we're ignoring this middle row. It's like I've made a change from the first, swapping out the green and the orange. So I've gained a flag. So that means green was incorrect before. Green was in one of these holes, so we don't want green, but also orange is still in the wrong spot. So you're in the right spot. Let's swap out these two. This is just to see if any of the placement moves. Okay, two of them are in the wrong spot. That also tells me red was a correct color. And red was in the right spot before. So red goes there, blue goes there, orange has to go here, yellow is wrong, it's got to be purple, unless there's a duplicate color. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Pretty easy.
Interesting.
Oh, do I have this jotted down? That would certainly simplify things. 1, 2, yes I do. Super. Okay. Let's give this a whirl. Oh, there we go. Oh, and of course that bar is going to be in the way. I don't remember the best position for these. Excellent. Okay. Got two, so that's sort of your goal. I'm pointing with my finger, you guys can't see that. This is your sort of your maximum that you want, ideally. It's even better if you can get fewer, because then if you mess up somewhere else, you've got sort of a spare move. Alright, let's move on to hole number 2. Oh, I used to remember the trick for this one. Is that angle right? Yes, okay, good. Will this work? No, because the recording bar is in the way. Shoot. Well, let's see if that's helpful. Okay, that actually wasn't bad. And of course I can't see it. Curse this recording bar. Hang on. Okay, I had to close the bar because I couldn't click anything, so you can see I was able to get it in 4. So far I'm at what I want. Haven't gone over. Let's move on to hole 3. And do this. No! Seriously? Shoot. Well, I'm hooped. I'm going to have to play this again, but that's fine. That's the trick, by the way, is there's a hole
I
there.
hit it too hard.
Yeah. So, I know I'm not going to win this time. So, we'll just consider this a practice round. And I think it's the middle one you want. Yes. Super cool. So I'm still up by 2, which is not good. But see, that's how you do this one in 3, is by that a little train ride, which is meant to be, I'm trying to think of the right word for it, but it's, you're pointing out the next game, or her interactive was pointing out Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. You're going to see a very similar thing happen in that game. Okay. Ooh, I don't like this one. This one is never good. Yeah, this is a really poor start. Oh. Yeah. If there are any tricks to this one, I would love to know. I can't even see the hole. I'm going to assume it's over that way. Hang on. Well, I'm already at 21. This is not good. wasn't terrible. Oh, that was. This is.
I hit it too hard.
Well, like I said, this is a practice round.
Darn.
Oof, that was brutal. Part of me is really tempted to play it again. You guys can always fast forward.
2 scorecards.
Oh, right. Yoink. Let's see. I think I'll record the second playing of it. And then we'll just see where we go. Hey! Excellent. Wish I could remember where I set this last time. Ooh, shoot. That is not good. Okay, that's 3. Oh! I didn't think I was going to be able to do it in 4. I'm very excited about that, as you can probably tell. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Did it in 2. Okay. Hole 4. Whee! Shoot, what was the angle on this one? Not that, apparently. Oh, this is bad. I think that took 1 too many. Well, we'll see in a moment. Yeah, so I'm up by 1, which is not good. So these guys, one of them at least needs to be less than 5. Ideally both. I hate this one. Oh, I was afraid of that. Oh, good. Thought I might have hit it too hard. Once again, I had to get rid of the recording for a moment, but there we go. I'm down, I'm under, so I'm balanced, I'm even. So I need no more than 5. We'll see how this goes. I have some concerns. Actually, that's not too terrible. Although that could have been better.
I hit it too hard.
No, that still worked out. Oh, shoot.
I did it.
Hey, yes, it only took 2 tries. That never happens. I'm so glad I continued with the recording. Okay. What do I do with it? Go over here. I was thinking I don't want to put it in the wrong bin. Hey, pony. Okay, let's return the gear. The ball just goes with it. Might as well have been items in the same little box. Okay, anyways, that is an activity. I mean, you can get away without playing it. The point is to get the pony because you need to know that that's the name of the prize. We've got an old carriage house, which right now we can't open, but we can turn. And now let's meet Richard Topham.
Over here, Miss Drew. Find the toy mouse and give it to Yuri, would you please? Otherwise, he'll just keep meowing. He hates strangers.
Duly noted. Oh, there it is. I've definitely overlooked it before, because it can be in a couple different places, if I remember correctly. Here we go. creepy cat. He's also super annoying. Anyhow, let's chat.
How nice of you to drop by. And thank you for walking instead of parking in the driveway. I'm expecting a pupil. I'd hate for her to have to park on the road.
Oh, goodness. How horrible that would be.
How did you know who I was?
If one is to teach others how to develop and use their paranormal gifts, it's only logical that one must possess such gifts oneself.
Does that mean you can read minds or tell the future, or what exactly?
The paranormal includes telepathy, or communicating by sending and receiving thoughts, extrasensory perception, or perceiving that which cannot physically be seen or heard, and psychokinesis, using one's psychic energy to reshape or move objects.
Sure, if you say so.
Jeepers, you can do all that?
Yes. Well, on occasion. As I tell my students, increasing one's rate of success is simply a matter of practice.
Do you have a lot of students?
Oh, indeed. I take them through exercises designed to help them increase their output of phantasmic energy. If you want to sign up for an introductory session, I believe I have an opening today.
What I'd really like to do is talk about Josiah Crowley.
Oh. I'm afraid I'm busy, young lady. Far too busy to engage in idle conversation.
You just invited me to participate, but you won't have a talk. It's all about greed, because having this chat has nothing to do with money for him. Well, and he actually gives another explanation, which is stupid.
You're not trying to hide something, are you, Mr. Topham?
I'll be blunt, Miss Drew. I've discovered that the more time I spend with the, shall we say, intellectually unendowed, the more my cerebral pulsations seem to diminish. I'm afraid I cannot speak to you further unless and until you prove that you are worthy. That is, that your brainwaves are not unacceptably inferior and thus deleterious to mine.
What nonsense.
My brainwaves are just fine, Mr. Topham.
What I have here is an exercise in logic. If you can discern the correct solution, then I'll know that conversing with you will do me no psychic harm. You may take it with you. Good luck and good day.
Well, I'll do that in a minute. Let's just explore here.
Would it be okay if I looked around?
Go right ahead. The place is more like a museum than a house.
What do you do with these?
I put them on the windshields of cars parked in the area. Great advertising.
Ever put them on cars at the Lilac Inn?
All the time. I've gotten quite a few pupils that way.
Certified parapsychologist. Yeah, I don't see how you get certification for that. Anyways. This is cool. At least I find it amusing, if not creepy.
Was this Josiah's clock?
Everything in here was Josiah's.
Let's see. Oh, excellent. No, that one. I like these kinds of puzzles. Because eventually, you can win. They're not impossible. There we go.
Wonder
A
what
little
this
delay.
mirror's doing in here.
We're just gonna take it. We're not even gonna mention it to Topham. That's fine. This guy's kind of cool too. We'll see a miniaturized version of him in the Phantom of Venice. This is super cute too.
What are you when you win barred bounce? What poet is the cat's meow? What will Para, my miniature golf course, get you? What's Gloria's middle name?
So we still need that one.
Becoder is in the rivet. 2 to the right.
Yeah. Figuring out the rest should be a cinch. And I like that he has intelligence test in quotations. Nikola Tesla. We'll learn more about him eventually, too. This is back to the haunted carousel.
It looks like Josiah lent a trivet to someone, but I can't make out to whom.
Some important clues in that notebook. This is just weird. Radio meter we'll see in the game. Pea brain. That's funny. Josiah, like I said, was a character.
The man on stage in this picture, is that Josiah?
Yes, that's from a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream that he directed and starred in. It closed after 2 nights, but he didn't care. He loved that play.
It is a good play. One of my favorites, as far as Shakespeare's concerned. Yeah, I don't feel like playing the instruments here. Let's do the so-called intelligence test.
That looks right. Am I smart or what? I'm getting there. That looks right. Am I smart or what?
And these, you'll hear people use these expressions throughout the game, so if you don't have them right away, that's fine.
Am I to assume that you have the correct solution to that logic problem?
Right here.
Let's have a look. Why, you appear to have indeed found the solution. Well,
yes.
Since you've proved yourself to be intellectually above average, which means talking to you should do me no harm, what would you like to talk about?
Well, Josiah, please.
When and how did you meet Josiah Crowley?
Last summer, while on my way to the university for a conference, I stopped for a bite at the Lilac Inn. Since it was crowded and I was in a hurry, I agreed to share a table with an elderly gentleman who, like me, was by himself. As soon as I told Mr. Crowley who I was and what I did, well, he insisted that I give him a training session that very afternoon, and was so thrilled with his progress that he demanded I stay and teach him everything I knew.
He was a good student?
The best. He had his annoying little habits, but his desire to realize his psychic potential was unparalleled.
Interesting.
Were you surprised when you found out that Josiah had left you everything?
Delighted? Yes. Surprised? Not really. Josiah was all alone, you see, surrounded by people like the Crandalls and that banker, Jim Archer. People who were nice to him only because they knew he had money.
Load of crap. That's more like Topham.
What's in the carriage house that's out back? Do you know?
That was Josiah's workshop. I assume it contains even more detritus.
No point asking this, but I will anyways.
Would you happen to know what Gloria Crandall's middle name was?
I haven't the foggiest.
It was nice talking to you.
I knew you were going to say that. A little psychic humor.
I do like that afternote of a little psychic humor. It actually makes it work as a joke, in my view, anyhow. The best track. Okay. Well, let's maybe quickly find out what Gloria's middle name is. Actually, will she even talk to me if I haven't spoken with Jim? I don't know. I'm not even gonna risk it. That's fine. Okay. I do like that we get to see Nancy drive a little
That car I
bit.
saw before is gone.
Okay. Let's avoid the oil slick. I want to go... Not there. Here.
Hello, I'm looking for Jim Archer.
Right through that door. Hello, are you Nancy Drew?
So again, a little bit of animation, him putting down the newspaper. That's a really nice touch.
Yes. Are you Mr. Archer?
Yes, ma'am. Jim Archer. I'm founder, president, manager, and just about everything else you can name when it comes to this fine enterprise.
Did Emily tell you why I'm here?
She just said you were coming and that she'd appreciate it if I would talk to you. Terrible thing, losing her mother like that, then being saddled with that restaurant, especially now.
What do you mean?
Ever since the stock market crashed, one business after another has closed, including banks. President Hoover keeps saying that a recovery is just around the corner, but you have to wonder.
Is your bank doing okay?
I'm happy to report that we're doing just fine, thank you. Excuse me. Main Street Bank, Jim Archer speaking. No, I don't. I'm sorry, but... Yes, I know, but... All right, then just bring it by. Sorry for the interruption. How can I help you?
Okay, and that's meant to pique our interest. It'll come up again.
Do you happen to know whether the jewelry Emily inherited from her mother was insured?
Well, I know for a fact that it was not. Why?
Because someone snuck into the inn today and stole it.
Oh, no. I heard there'd been a fire in the kitchen, but when it rains, it pours, doesn't it? I told Gloria not to let that policy lapse.
Why did she let it lapse?
She felt that since Josiah Crowley would be leaving her a large sum of money when he died, or so she thought, paying to insure her jewelry just wasn't necessary.
And this is an important lesson. You know, we shouldn't rely on a certain amount of money coming in. Like, you might expect an inheritance or stocks to do well, or just your job. I mean, you want to have a nest egg if possible. You want to take precautions because things might not go according to plan. This is a really important lesson.
How well did you know Josiah Crowley?
Well enough for him to name me executor of his will. An executor is the person who makes sure the terms of a will are carried out.
Nice little educational note there, in case you didn't know that.
Why do you think he wound up leaving Gloria nothing?
I have no idea. Truth be told, he'd given me the impression that I would be well taken care of when he passed on too. But when I finally read his will, it all went to Topham.
How well do you know
Oops, I didn't
Jane
mean to click that
Willoughby?
one.
You know, Emily's guardian?
Not well at all. Met her once or twice. Seemed a little flighty.
Do you think Emily's going to be able to run the inn by herself?
Times are just too tough. If she's smart, she'll sell before the bills start piling up.
Okay, now I can ask the question I meant to click before, and I was a little too crazy with my cursor.
Where did Josiah keep his will?
He'd hidden it in a chest of drawers in his house. It took me months to find it. When he named me executor, he said he'd tell me where it was hidden when the time was right. Whatever that meant.
How did Josiah die?
He was sitting in the public library reading when apparently his heart just decided it was time to stop.
Oh, that's sad.
Did he go to the library a lot?
First Thursday of every month. That's when the fan magazines would come in. Know what his favorite book was? The Make-Up Secrets of Lon Chaney.
The will you found in Josiah's house. Is it possible that Josiah didn't really write it?
Well, the thought that it could be a forgery did cross my mind. But an expert verified that the will had been typed on Josiah's typewriter and signed in Josiah's hand.
But Richard Topham lived in Josiah's house. He had access to his typewriter, and he could have copied his signature.
As far as the law is concerned, the matter is closed, Miss Drew.
But it's
For
possible
now.
that Josiah's real will is still out there. Are you sure he never gave you any clue as to where he'd hidden his will?
Whenever I asked him, he said he'd tell me when the time is right. Although, he got a safe deposit box here about 3 years ago.
Has it been opened?
Topham has tried to claim its contents, but he can't find the key.
If Topham can't find the key, maybe it's because it wasn't in Josiah's house.
Now, Miss Drew, I wouldn't go jumping to any conclusions.
It's not the greatest response for that choice. I mean, that would have worked for the one about Topham wanting to destroy whatever's inside it. It doesn't quite work so well with Nancy just suggesting that the key might be somewhere else. But whatever.
I guess I'll be going.
Give my best to Emily.
I shall.
Don't you ever use this typewriter?
That used to be Josiah Crowley's. It was the only thing he left me in his will. Naturally, it doesn't work. The keys always jam.
October 9, 1929. Dear Mrs. Sheldon, here is the trivet I said you could borrow for your party at Twin Elms. Please take care of it because I will want it back someday. Your friend, Josiah C. I wonder if Josiah ever got his trivet back.
And now we're getting a whole bunch of different tasks for Nancy to do. They really build up in this game. There are lots of different things Nancy can do.
Who's
or
Clara?
has to do.
Clara Pickford is this lonely old woman who comes in here every once in a while. Took a shine to me for some reason. Insisted on giving me that picture.
Where did you get this clock?
Josiah Crowley gave it to me. It stopped keeping time the minute he walked out the door.
That receipt I found outside the inn. I wonder if the key it refers to is the one to this clock.
Oh, I did need to go to Waddell's. Let's do that right now.
Hello, are you Mr. Waddell?
So what if I am?
I found this receipt, and I just wondered what you could tell me about it.
Let me see that. One key, determined resale value, item 493. Oh yeah, this was for that key Jim Archer wanted me to appraise.
Jim Archer wanted you to appraise a key?
It was very ornate, had jewels all over it. Fake jewels, as it turned out. When I told him it was worthless, the cheapskate refused to pay me and told me to keep it.
Do you think I could have it?
Sure. Once you pay the appraisal fee,
Which is...
$1.50.
Here you go.
Good. Here's the key. Enjoy.
I have a feeling that's the voice actor who is the old miner's voice in Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. The one telling old stories. And we'll get there. Where is Tubby Telegrams? I used to have this all memorized. I'm just gonna go for a drive. That's fine. There we go.
Something I can do for you?
Well, my name's Nancy Drew, and my father
Say
said
no
that...
more. You're here to pick up some papers. They're in that envelope.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Say, is that your roadster out there?
Yes, it is. Did I park somewhere I shouldn't have?
No, it's just that my regular driver never showed up today, so I've got no way to deliver all these telegrams. How would you like to earn some extra cash?
You mean you want me to deliver them for you?
You've got a car, you're trustworthy, or at least your father thinks you are, so what do you say? I'll pay you 25 cents each time you complete a delivery. And you might even get some tips.
I'm just gonna say yes. I've never said no, but if Nancy hits a flat tire, I need to make sure I've got cash.
Okay, sure.
Great, you're hired. Here, deliver this to Seymour out at Blenheim Nursery. Come back when you're done and I'll pay you and give you another telegram to deliver.
Great. See you in a little while.
And I will make sure I at least deliver that one, so I don't forget. Let's see. I need to go to Twin Elms.
Mrs. Sheldon?
Yes?
My name's Nancy Drew. I'm a friend of Emily Crandall's.
Get on with it, dear.
I was wondering, would it be possible for me to see the trivet you borrowed from Josiah Crowley?
You may not only see it, you may have it. Once I find it, that is. Unfortunately, I've an errand to run, so I can't look for it right now.
Maybe I could run the errand for you. I have a car.
So I see. A rather expensive car at that. Very well, Miss Drew. Go fetch my bridge cards from Miss Drakowski, and upon your return I shall present you with that trivet.
Who's Miss Drakowski?
The local telephone operator. You can find her at her house, or Titusville Telco, as she insists on calling it. The switchboard is in her parlor. As you can imagine, she never entertains. I, on the other hand, am expecting company within the hour, so do hurry.
Yeah, so our series of errands continue. However, I'm just trying to remember, is Blenheim Industry down here? No, it's a farm.
Yeah?
Are you Miss Jakowski?
Yeah? And you are?
Nancy Drew. I'm a friend of Emily Crandall's. You know, at the Lilac Inn.
Oh, yeah, I put you through to your father, didn't I? You pick up those papers for him yet?
Actually, Wait a minute. How did you know about that?
See this headset I'm wearing? I plug it in and oh, what do you know? I hear things. Look, I'm kind of pressed for time. Going to a party and it takes me a while to get dolled up.
There's
What do you
one of
need?
those sentences
Mrs. Sheldon
or
asked me to pick up her
expressions.
bridge cards from you.
Tell you what, I'll get you those cards if you drive that fancy car of yours over to the orphanage and pick up some raffle tickets from Mrs. O'Shea. I should be able to unload a ton of them tonight.
I'd be happy to.
Good, I gotta go. Yeah, I'm coming.
Okay, so now we have to go to the orphanage. And it doesn't end here.
Excuse me, are you Mrs. O'Shea?
Yes?
My name is Nancy Drew, and
Stephen, put that down this instant. We do not run with sticks in our hands or in our mouths.
I'm sorry. You were saying?
Miss Jakowski asked me to pick up some raffle tickets from you.
Oh, yes, the raffle tickets. The fact of the matter is
Elsie, no hitting.
I can't even think about those raffle tickets right now. I promised the children they'd each get a toy for going a full week without breaking anything. And I'm short 5 toys.
Do not eat that, Clarence.
Would you like me to get 5 toys for you?
Oh, goodness, if you could do that, I'd be forever grateful. They can be any kind of toy at all. The children aren't the least bit picky.
Of course it tastes bad, Clarence. It's a pine cone.
I'd better go rinse out his mouth before. Oh, would you look at that? He's actually chewing it.
You're not a
Oh,
squirrel,
man.
Clarence. Spit that out this instant.
Okay. Now for some toys. And the errands are not going to end there either. Is that Blenheim Nursery? There we go. Let's just
Hello,
deliver
I've
this.
got a telegram for Seymour.
Just leave it on the desk there. I'd, tip you, but as you can see, my hands are filthy.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to doll up some of my plants before this guy named Mr. Martin comes in. He's a big cheese at some oil company, and I'm hoping he... Ow!
Did that plant just bite you?
It did kind of feel that way.
I think I'll be going now. Bye.
And there are a whole bunch of references to other things that I don't know what they are. Like I haven't watched a whole lot of old films. Oh, shoot. There's a cow in the way. Yeah, I can't pick up on the references. Like, I know that they're there. I just don't know what they relate to. I'm sure you can find them all on the her interactive message board. General store for some toys. And I have
Maybe
that
I
pony.
could buy some toys for the orphans in here.
Yeah, I only need to buy 4, so I've got $1. That's
A
fine.
vending machine that just sells toys. Keen.
Yeah,
I
so
can't get the toy without
Oh.
putting in money first.
sorry. So let's go with the doll.
2 toys down, 3 to go.
I was really confused that one of the times I played this, well, the first time that I had the pony before doing this task, I was like, what do you mean? This is the first toy, and I didn't realize that it counted the pony. I was very confused. Okay, let's go with the teddy bear. Gender neutral.
That makes 3 toys.
And that's really where my brain goes a lot of the time is, what's a toy any kid would want to play with? Although I took the doll. But I like that it had color on it.
4 toys. I just need 1 more.
I like the plane.
5 toys. That's all I need.
Okay. Yeah, one of the things I don't enjoy about this game really are just the errands, because they feel like work. They're not a lot of fun. Nancy's really just driving around and not, solving any puzzles or anything. It's just doing this sort of mindless work. It's not a lot of fun. So that's one of the weak points of this game, in my view.
Hi, do you have 5 toys for me?
I certainly do.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You're such a saint, you hear me? A saint! I'd better get these inside before the children see them. Thank you so much.
Mrs. O'Shea, the raffle tickets?
Oh, the raffle tickets? I don't have them, dear.
Nope.
You'll have to pick them up from Phelps' print shop. Then just take them straight to Mr. Kowski.
We don't pull hair, Ralphie. Especially when we have jelly on our hands.
Phelps Print Shop. Wonderful.
Which, fortunately, isn't far away. It's right across the road, really.
Sorry, young lady, I'm about to close.
I'm just here to pick up the raffle tickets you printed for Mrs. O'Shea.
Oh, darn it. I did tell her I'd have those done today, didn't I? Well, I'm sorry, but they're just gonna have to wait until tomorrow.
Oh, but I need to have them today.
And I need to go fishing.
Fishing?
My brother-in-law thinks he's hot stuff because he caught an 18-inch largemouth bass this morning. So I bet him I could catch a 19-incher by the end of the day. And if I do, I get his stamp collection. And if I don't, he gets mine. And since stamp collecting is about the only hobby I can afford these days, I'm going fishing.
I know. You stay here and print those raffle tickets, and I'll go fishing for you.
Not everybody can catch a 19-inch largemouth bass, you know.
I can.
Takes skill.
I got it.
Muscle.
Got it.
Brains.
Right
Bass
there.
are pretty smart.
I can do it, Mr. Phelps.
You better be right, because you're not getting those raffle tickets until I get my 19-incher. You can use my gear. I left everything out at the fishing hole.
Great. I'll see you later.
Okay, and we continue to drive, but again, it's nearby, which is nice. Okay, and you can get the information for how to
First
do
thing
this.
I need to do is bait my hook.
Like the right type of bait and where to put in at in the carriage house.
Now I
There's
toss this in
information.
the water, and when the bobber goes under the water, I need to pull the line up fast.
Usually it's in the reeds. Minnow I know is the right bait to use.
I caught one!
One try. Oh, there we
Looks like 19 inches to me. Ew, that fish I caught really smells.
go. Well, it's gonna be out of the car soon enough.
I've only got half
Oops.
a tank of gas left. I should gas up before I forget.
Come on. Stay up there, cursor. Keeps turning on me.
Well, let's see what you got in there. How about that? You did it. Here, let me take it from you.
Please do. I think it's starting to get a little ripe.
Just rest yourself a minute while I get those raffle tickets. There you go. 10 dozen tickets to the annual Orphans Benefit. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go make a telephone call.
To your brother-in-law?
Yeah, the one who used to collect stamps.
Good emphasis there.
Bye.
Okay. So then we bring this back to Mrs. Jakowski.
Hi, you got those raffle tickets for me?
I sure do.
Great. And here are Mrs. Sheldon's bridge cards. One of the gals spilled Moxie all over them, but I cleaned them up real good, so let's not tell Mrs. Sheldon, okay?
Okay. Thanks for your help, Miss Jakowski.
Thanks for your help. Bye now.
Okay, and then, 'cause I don't know if there's a cow in the way or not, I'm gonna go this way. And cows on the road are a real thing. They happen to appear all the time, or at least on the side of the road. And horses.
Do you have my bridge cards?
Right here.
Good. And here is Josiah's trivet. I didn't realize when I asked to borrow it that it was such an eyesore. But once a sumptuous dish of my buff stroganoff was placed atop
yummy.
it, I assure you, no one noticed. Now do run along. My guest will be arriving any minute. And that dress of yours, it's, well...
Close
I
the door.
like this dress. It's very flouncy.
I like that word. Okay. So now, I mean, I could go fill up on gas, but I don't feel like it. Can I go this way? Excellent, there's no cow. Let's go back to the Lilac Inn. Okay, so those are the errands. We can actually spend some time back at the inn, which is great. Now I'm trying to remember all the things I have to do. Right, let's find out about the middle name, which means we have to have a big conversation with Emily here.
Hi, Nancy.
Did Josiah ever say anything about hiding his will somewhere?
No, but he was always hiding stuff. I know because he was always writing reminders to himself about how to find it. But whenever the subject of his will came up, he'd just say he was happy knowing we were going to be happy when he passed on. Time will tell. That's all he'd say.
What was your mother's middle name?
Lois. Why?
Oh, just curious.
It's just a random question. It's fine.
Do you have any idea where Josiah may have hidden a safe deposit box key?
He could have hidden it anywhere. He always said his favorite hiding place was right under people's noses.
I'll be back in a little bit.
You're the best.
Well, I didn't get to mention the lack of insurance. Do I have to talk with Jane? Or do we never talk to Emily about that? Let's see.
Oh, Nancy, I'm afraid there's been more trouble.
Trouble?
It's Emily. Oh, this is silly. I'm her guardian. I should just make her sell this place. She's only 17, for Pete's sakes. She should be out meeting boys and going to parties, not trying to run a business.
Miss Willoughby, what happened?
Just go ask her, and make her tell you everything.
So this was unfortunate. Well, it's also a good way for me to illustrate where things maybe don't necessarily flow well if your order isn't just right. So I probably should have spoken with Jane first, because just because of the upcoming reaction we're going to have from Emily. But I went and talked to Emily first, and she was upbeat, and we didn't talk about anything serious. But now...
Jane told you, didn't she?
Not really.
That picture on the wall over there, I saw it move. I was just sitting here and it moved all by itself. I saw it move, I really did. Last week, a book fell off the shelf for no reason. And before that, I heard these weird noises. And almost every day I hear a voice, like a whisper, coming out of nowhere. Jane thinks it's nerves, but I don't want to talk about this. Did you see Jim Archer?
I'm afraid I don't have very good news.
The jewelry wasn't insured?
Your mom dropped the insurance in order to save money for...
Shh! Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Shh! Nothing. I'm going to have to sell the inn, aren't I?
You know, it's possible, just possible, that the will that was found was not the will Josiah wrote.
You mean he may have left us money after all? No, that's wishful thinking. And I refuse to get my hopes up again because they'll probably just get dashed again. Listen, I feel bad enough that you drove all the way out here for nothing. Maybe you should just go home.
No.
Would you mind if I stayed for a while?
No, but I really don't feel like being sociable right now. There's nothing for you to do.
Oh, but there are. We have a nice set of, or selection of three options. This is great.
I'd like to see if Josiah hid a second will somewhere.
What are you? Some
There's
kind of
that giggle
Sam
again.
Spade?
Well, just because I've never solved a mystery before doesn't mean I can't. Anyway, there's no harm in trying, right? Who knows? I might turn out to be good at it.
Be my
Indeed.
guest.
I'll be back in a little bit.
You're the best.
Yeah, so that sequence of events, if you don't do it just right, it's really messy.
This picture move.
Like the flow is just not there. That's sort of poorly executed, unfortunately. You know, it kind of would have been nice if I could still gone up the stairs when I first came in the door, but Emily perhaps wasn't in her room, or just said something along the lines of I don't want to talk right now, and then that sort of forces Nancy to go talk to Jane. Something like that would have been better, just so that regardless of your sequence, it still would have flowed really well, because right now it doesn't. Okay, anyhow. So now, these are the clues from Josiah's notebook. So, the poet, that's the bee's knees or something, or cat's pajamas, is Omar. Oh, there's a certain order and I don't remember what it is. So Keen actually, I think, comes first. Come on. So what are you when you beat or win Bard Bounce? There we go. And then I think it's Omar next. Yes, and then Pony is what you win from mini golf. The answer is not horse, it's pony. And then Lori's middle name, which we've now just learned is Lois. That's nice. We only have to change 3 of the letters instead of all 4. And there we go. We're in the carriage house. It's a lot here. So here, freshwater fish of the Midwest. This is how you figure out for fishing at Bogart's Pond. Grass beds, minnows. So the answer's here. And when I first played this game, I missed this booklet or pamphlet entirely, and I fished with every kind of bait and in every section. I think it was my very last combination when I finally got the largemouth bass. Okay, and then we have this wonderful clock. And this is from the from mini golf, not mini golf itself, but that little mini game that's like Mastermind. The sequence here comes from that. So I'm gonna turn you 1, 2, and then 4, and back to 2, and 8. Let's go in this direction, and then 7. Another mirror, which is just lovely. And then we have places to put mirrors. Like
I wonder what goes here.
I don't know if they stay if I put them up yet. Yes, they do. Good. I will come back to this in a moment. I'm just gonna do these 2 corners while I think of it. And just this little domino task, which is pretty straightforward. Okay. Just move you guys off. Here's number 5. So you're just matching. I feel like there's one duplicate, so it's not as easy as it seems, and yet I don't remember ever having trouble doing this. I don't know. I may be misremembering. Could simply be that I'd made an error one time.
Looks like I need more mirrors.
There we go. Okay, so what we can see next is we've got one more empty slot there and right there. So we need to find 2 more mirrors, and they come from clocks. I realized I actually should have, while I was down in the town, should have gone back to see Jim Archer and scoped out his clock now that we have the key for it. And then I think I missed the clock that's actually in Lilac Inn. Oh, dodge the potholes. Ugh. Round the corner. Okay, let's give this a try. I don't know if I have to talk to him. Let's see.
Hello again.
There we go.
The key that you had Mr. Waddell appraise, could that be the key to the clock that Josiah Crowley gave you?
It might have been, I suppose. You know about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. In fact, I paid the appraisal fee. I have the key right here.
How industrious of you. You see, When he told me the key was worthless, I lost all interest in it.
So, it would be alright if I kept the key for myself?
I have no use for it. In fact, if you want that old clock, you can have it too.
I guess I'll be going.
Give my best to Emily.
Going, but not very far.
It would sure be nice to be able to open this thing.
Well, we will. Patience, Nancy. Hey! Is this not one of the keys for Message in a Haunted Mansion? That's what it looks like. Oh, fun. Okay. I don't remember the shape. I can't see where the holes are. Oh, and evidently it doesn't go there. Or there. Goes there, apparently. That's the nice thing, is they'll just stay. Sort of jump to the right spot. Oh, right, and these lines connect. You can see there's a little line here and a little line here. Got them on each of the gears. That's a good clue to figure out which gears go where. I think that's quite the right angle. No, that's not the one I was thinking of either. Well. Yeah, because that's not the angle I was expecting. Oh, there it is. I didn't see that one off to the side. There we go. So we need one that's down. I was going to say like 8 o'clock. And they are clocks. Oh, that might not quite be it, actually. Let's go for a big gear. That looks right. Beautiful. And they need to be close so that the gears sort of interlock. Okay, that should be this one here. Yes. Tiny one here. And then you, my friend, go out there, and then you go there. I really like this part. That just looks so cool. It's just fancy. Especially compared with the earlier games. Like just all the, I don't know if graphics is quite the right term, but basically all that fun extra stuff. It's really apparent to me in this game and Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. I just find there are a lot of similarities as well as far as what's included in those two games. Oh. Dun, dun, dun. Keep the mirror for now. Well, let's have a chat.
So, what did Emily say? Did she tell you about the pictures and the voices?
Oh yeah, I didn't talk to Jane about this after that conversation.
How long has this been going on?
For about 2 weeks, I guess. You know what? I'll bet it's me. I'll bet it finally hit Emily that I'm just not Gloria and I never will be, and that running this place is always gonna be all up to her. And it was just more than her poor mind could bear.
Yeah, no.
What did the sheriff say when you called him about the stolen jewels?
He said since nobody got robbed at gunpoint or anything, coming out here again just didn't seem necessary. Said it sounded to him like the jewelry had just been misplaced. You see, well, it only felt fair to tell him about Emily's, you know, delicate state of mind.
Have you met Richard
Topham? I love this.
Yeah, I've had the displeasure of meeting that quack.
Yes. Despite her character, I appreciate this observation and opinion of Richard Topham.
Somehow he knew who I was before he even saw me.
He came over while they were putting out the fire today. Asked me who you were, and I was so frazzled at the time, I told him. I don't usually give that crackpot the time of day.
Does everybody around here feel that way about him?
Not everybody. Like that circus fella said, there's a sucker born every minute.
Oh, she would know.
I think ESP is a lot of J-U-N-K.
Also a good line.
Does the miniature golf course that's out back belong to the inn?
No, that was Josiah Crowley's. Way I hear, he built it himself.
Was it open to the public?
Nope, it was just his own private little course. Can you imagine? Wish I had money to throw around like that.
No kidding. Although I'd use it for travel.
Well, I'll talk to you later.
You betcha.
Okay. Is there not a clock in here, and did I overlook it? Yes. Here we go. Okay. It's easier said than done. I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Definitely doing this wrong. I mean, I can do that and bring that all the way over there. But we're still stuck. Yeah, I need to move this. I guess I can only move it over one. Huh. Oh, well, I can move it up. There we go. That was just rather silly. How do I do this? There we go. Just took a little time. It's fine. Actually, that wasn't terrible. There we go. Mirror number 4. I wasn't sure if I could find this yet or not. I guess, yes, because I saw the portrait move, or that it had been moved. Yes.
From the looks of those lanterns, I'm not the only one who's been down here recently.
Mm-hmm. So here we have a hidden staircase.
An old piggy bank. Swell, $1.
Swell.
This piggy bank looks like it's been here for a long time.
Poor piggy bank. Alright, I like this puzzle. Okay, should be able to move these pieces. Maybe. Maybe not. Rats. Well, these ones will get moved last. These two in the corner. Again, for anyone who hasn't watched one of my videos, I've got this recording bar here that just blocks everything else. It's really frustrating. Anyhow. Oops, didn't mean to do that. That's probably the piece that needs to go right there. I don't suppose this one will let me. Oh, yes, it worked. That's fantastic. Oh, brilliant. Okay, good. Oh, good. I really didn't want to have to pause this, and it's just disruptive and just doesn't flow very well. Anyhow, you go there, you go there, I believe. You need to be rotated. Yes. Need a little more yellow. There it is. Oops, I didn't mean to rotate you. To grab you. Okay. Is that the piece that goes there? Yes. Okay, where's the mausoleum? Start there. That looks right. That's not right, but that's okay. We'll get there. That's my response to so many things. It's just, we'll get there. Okay. Well, that probably goes... Okay. You can tell it's not right because these, when they're in the right spot, they almost look like they're indented. And this one sticks out. There we go. Now I've rotated it. It doesn't look like it's pushed out. So... let's see. I think that has to go there. And some of these, like, they look like they're not pushed out either, but they're not in the right place. I think they're at least oriented the right way. So that one has to go there. Is that the rest of his body? Oh, I didn't mean to rotate it. I've done that a few times. Where's the rest of that tree? Is it this? It looks like it could be. Yeah. And then there we go. Lovely. I like these kinds of puzzles. They're not horribly difficult. They're solvable. They just take some time.
Guess I better not leave the lights on. Jeepers, that sounds like Richard Topham. This door must open right into his living room.
Indeed. But we're not going to go up there at this moment. And I like that not Nancy was conscientious about the lights. Let's not waste electricity,
What was
people.
that? Guess I better not leave the lights on.
Yes, yes, we know. Okay. I don't know if there's anything to say to Emily, but let's take a look, and then I can go place the mirrors.
Hi, Nancy.
Is the clock in the parlor the one Josiah gave you?
Yes. I don't know why he gave it to us. It's never worked, and nobody can open it to find out why.
I figured it out.
I'll be back in a little bit.
You're the best.
Aw, thanks, mate. And here we go.
Why does this picture keep moving?
I'm not looking forward to having to use the sewing machine. I just looked at it as Nancy was turning about the room, and the worst task of all has yet to come. That's nice. You can just click on the center and it opens, which is nice. Okay, let's put one mirror here. And then in this corner, need a mirror. Oh, and while I was in Emily's room, I meant to listen to the record and forgot.
I need to adjust the mirrors so that the light hits them just right.
Mm-hmm. Because we need to get them to hit that. I might have to adjust this mirror a little bit more. Yeah, not quite. Okay, why are you not doing anything? Oh, there we go. Oh, still not quite right. Oh, shoot. Turned that too far. Oh! Because I forgot about this mirror. Good job, me. Nope, that was bad. Oh, it's fine. There we go. This part I always really like. This is where things really feel like the games have become more advanced. And all of these extra little things that were included sort of made the game seem fancier and not in a bad way, as though her interactive was sort of showing off the skills that the team had developed. Okay. So I could open that, but no point. Ourselves banned. Alright, that's all we need for up here at the moment.
Hello, Miss Drew.
Hello, Mr. Topham.
Okay, let's have a quick level talk.
Now what?
Do you by any chance know who Marcel is?
Marcel was what Josiah called his favorite hat.
His hat? The man named his hat?
He loved that hat, so to him, naming it made perfect sense.
Do you still have Marcel?
No, as a matter of fact, I gave that hat to Gloria Crandall. She said she was fond of the old fellow and wanted something to remember him by, although I suspect the real reason she wanted that hat was to see if he'd stashed any money in it.
Ugh.
Josiah ordered something from the Krollmeister Crystal Company just before he passed away. Do you know if it ever arrived?
You must be talking about that chunk of quartz that came last winter. I still have it right here. Why?
I was wondering if I could buy it from you. For my father. He loves quartz.
Great line.
Perhaps we
in
can
this
work
game.
something out. You see, amazing as this is going to sound, I am able to project my thoughts into another person's brain.
Yeah, right. So I really liked that. So Nancy's telling a lie there, and it came very easily to her. Whereas I'd pointed out, was it in the last game? I think it was, and I can't remember why. But she needed to lie, and she wasn't very good at it. And that really bothers me that there's this inconsistency. I would hope that she'd be good at it because she's meant to be this really great young sleuth. So when she doesn't deliver, it's really disappointing. So this was great. I really appreciated how this one was set up.
Is that so?
The only problem is, not everyone has the intellectual capacity to receive my thoughts.
Oh dear.
Since you have already demonstrated a high level of intelligence, yes, you may very well be the ideal subject.
Oh man. I am trying to look. I am looking to see if I have these written down. Oh, yes I do. Superb. I doodled a lot on those notes.
Subject, as in experiment?
You are going to help me prove that I am telepathic. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to shuffle a deck which contains 5 sets of these cards. Then I'm going to turn my back, draw a card, look at it, and start transmitting my thoughts. When you receive my thoughts, you will identify the card I'm looking at. Once you correctly identify 5 cards in a row, I'll give you that piece of quartz.
But what if I can't do it?
Just stay focused on the cards and my superior brain power will do the rest. Very well, let's begin. What card am I holding?
So I don't know if you can actually successfully do this on the first try. You might need Nancy to fail so that she can make this internal comment or inner comment to herself about how this is resolved. But let's see. What card am I holding? Should be a square.
This one.
Wonderful. Here's another. Which card am I thinking of?
This one.
This one.
Marvelous. Here's another. What card am I looking at?
Circle.
I think it's this one.
Yes. Here's another. Can you tell me what card this is?
Squiggles.
This one?
Marvelous. Here's another. This is which card?
Star.
This one.
Very good. You did it. Well, actually, I did it.
Oh,
but
yes,
in
you
any
can.
case, thank you for your assistance. Here's the piece of crystal that Josiah ordered. Take it. You've earned it. Well, actually, I earned it, but let's not quibble.
Oh, man.
But Mr. Topham, you didn't really. I'm afraid that subconsciously you may have...
Yes?
Never mind.
Do you need anything else?
So this goes back to that article in, what did they call it? Like magazine? In the waiting room area of Lilac Inn. There's that article about the horse. This relates to that.
What do you think happened to the key to Josiah's safe deposit box?
Josiah no doubt lost it. He had a terrible memory, poor fellow.
Are you still looking for the key?
What's the point? No doubt it's filled with the same thing as this house. Junk. But if it's junk, why haven't I gotten rid of it, you may well ask. Well, I know it's silly to hang on to Josiah's things, but he was a wonderful man, you see, and I just don't have the heart to get rid of them. Too sentimental for my own good, I guess.
Yeah, that's a lot of lies.
Do you mind if I look around some more?
Be my guest.
Okay. So now, let's do some running around. Need to go to Waddell's. I'm trying to remember the sequence of things because I know there are a couple things I need to do and I can't think off the top of my head what triggers them. I know I need to speak with Emily about Marcel.
Hello, Mr. Waddell.
Now what?
I need for you to cut a blank from this piece of quartz.
No big deal. Let's see it.
The blank needs to be just like the one you made before for Josiah Crowley.
Like I said, no big deal. You're gonna have to cough up $2, though. You can pay me when you pick it up. Good day.
Do I have $2? Nope. Alright, I'm gonna need some gas. And I should get paid for delivering a telegram.
Did you deliver that telegram?
I sure did.
Good for you. Here's your money. And here's your next telegram.
Be
Take
nearby.
this to Counselor Alice out at Camp Avondale. Keep up the good work.
Come on.
Welcome to Zippy's, where zipless service is zippily zapped and zippy service is the zippiest. Fill her up?
Just 50 cents worth,
I'm gonna have to
please.
deliver a few telegrams.
That'll be 50 cents.
Here you go.
Thank you, miss. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Drive zippily.
Okay. Which way is it to Camp Avondale? Is it this one? I know it's off to the side somewhere. Oh, brilliant.
Hi, I've got a telegram for a counselor here named Alice.
That's me. Hang on. Oh, go dry up, Jason! What a jokester. Anyway, thanks. I'm afraid I don't have any money to tip you.
That's okay. Have a swell day.
Come on. My driving skills are horrendous in this game.
Did you deliver that telegram?
I sure did.
Good for you. Here's your money. And here's your next telegram. Deliver this to Mr. Jones at Vash's Dairy. Keep up the good work.
Oh, where's Vash's Dairy? And this way? Yes.
Hello, I need to deliver this telegram to Mr. Jones.
That's me, thanks. You can tell me I'm all wet, but I don't have any money to tip you with. Wait a minute, here, how about a nice fresh glass of milk?
No, thank you. Bye.
Okay. I forget how much I'm getting paid for delivering these, but I think I need to
Did you deliver
at
that
least one
telegram?
more.
I sure did.
Good for you, here's your money. And here's your next telegram. This one goes to Miss Ross at Sunnybrook Farm. Keep up the good work.
Yep. Okay, Sunnybrook Farm. I feel like I have to go up here. Oh dear, potholes. Yeah.
Hi, I have a telegram from Miss Ross.
My name's Rebecca, and I'm only 10, but I'll deliver it to her for you, I promise. I won't let you down or double-cross you or anything like that.
Well, okay. Thank you, Rebecca.
No sweat. I mean, you're welcome.
Yeah, she's meant to be a reference to something rather. Oh, poor car. But again, I don't know it myself.
Did you deliver that telegram?
I sure did.
Good for you, here's your money. And here's your next telegram. Deliver this to Dr. Bob out at the observatory. Keep up the good work.
I don't want to.
Hello, Mr. Waddell. Are you done making that blank?
Have you got my fee?
Right here.
Good. Here's the blank I cut for you. Enjoy.
All right. Okay, what else did I say that I meant to do? and I've forgotten to do it. Marcel. That's right. Come on.
Hi, Nancy.
Would you happen to know where your mother put Josiah's favorite hat?
Look in the drawer right below me. That's where all Mom's mementos are.
I'll be back in a little bit.
You're the bee's knees.
Maybe this is the key to Josiah's safe deposit box.
And now this is going to trigger some more fun stuff. I need to go see Jim Archer. But first, I'm going to put the blank in. Because I need to trigger some other stuff. Lots of things to do, but you can kind of pick and choose which things to some degree. Like this is going to set off a second task to do, so I can either work on this or go speak with Jim Archer first. Yeah, got a bit of choice. That blank in. All right. You know, I'd rather speak with Thisbe.
Looks like Josiah was a ham radio operator.
Why did that not work? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Do I not have that right? Well, curious. Maybe I can't do this yet. Maybe I assumed I had to call them first before I could trigger, or in order to trigger needing this book. Let's see. Is he around or is he busy?
Hello, Miss Drew.
Hi, Mr. Topham.
Now what?
It was nice talking to you.
Drop by anytime.
Okay, well, I might be able to do some snooping now. Misremembered things, and that's okay. It makes it a bit more fun, actually. It's also a little worrisome that my brain is turning to mush. I want to go this way. Click on that instead. Do you have to be standing in just the right spot? Let's see, can I do this?
Guess I better not leave the lights on.
Good thinking.
I don't hear anybody.
Yes,
now
okay,
would be
good.
a good time for me to sneak inside and have a quick look around.
Clear your mind of all thoughts. Think about nothing save that spook.
Hush, hush.
Yori, be quiet. You're disturbing us.
There we go. Now that the cat has been pacified.
Yes, it's okay if you
Josiah must have circled these quotes, but why?
And we can do the ham
Something
radio.
tells me I better write down all the stuff that's circled here in my journal.
There we go. And there's nothing else to look at, I don't think.
Either one, Mrs. Denton. Just concentrate.
I can't see the trapdoor, but I know it's there.
Guess guess I better not leave the lights on.
And yet that light's still on. Okay. Oh, what to do? You know what? I'm gonna go speak with Jim Archer next. Just while I'm right in front of the car. There we go.
Hello again.
Yeah, I could ask him this.
What's your opinion of Richard Topham?
Interesting gentleman who's in an interesting line of work.
It's a very diplomatic way of answering that question.
Do you think he really does what he says he can do?
He makes a living doing whatever it is he does, so obviously someone thinks he's the real deal.
I think I found the key to Josiah's safe deposit box.
Really?
I have it right here.
It is from this bank.
May I see if it opens the box?
It takes 2 keys to open a safe deposit box. The owner's key and my key. And in this case, I'm under no obligation to open it for you.
Oh, but I...
However, were you to do me a small favor...
I cringe.
Such as?
I hired a seamstress to make a dress for my wife's birthday next week. Unfortunately, the seamstress and I had a falling out, and now I need to find someone to finish the dress.
Maybe I could find somebody. How much are you willing to pay them?
Oh, the fact of the matter is, the dressmaker quit because I couldn't pay her. I misled you before. Business is not fine. This bank is on the brink of ruin.
Kind of feel bad for him.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Archer.
I wanted to get my wife something nice because, well, it might be the last nice thing she gets for a long, long time. Now, Emily once mentioned that Jane used to be a dressmaker.
Say no more. Just give me the dress and I'll take care of it.
I have it right here. The seamstress said that all the pieces have been cut out and basted together. All that's needed is a sewing machine. When it's finished, bring it back and I'll let you try that key in Josiah's safe deposit box.
Takes more than just the sewing machine. My God.
I guess I'll be going.
Goodbye now.
I mean, that's all you actually need in terms of machinery, but man, you need a lot of patience. It's just the worst.
I've only got half a tank of gas left. I should gas up before I forget.
No. I don't want to.
What's cooking?
Since you used to be a dressmaker, do you think you could help me sew something?
Me? Sew? No, I can't. Sewing takes practice, and I haven't sewed a stitch in years. Whatever it is, believe me, I'd wreck it.
No, I hadn't sewn in years and managed to pick it up. I mean, I've never been fantastic at it. There's usually a lot of cursing involved and a lot of stabbing of pins. But you can pick it up as long as you've got a firm base, and as a former dressmaker, she should have a firm base and be able to pick it up. So.
Then how about giving me some pointers?
No can do. Sorry.
Well, I'll talk to you later.
Bye now.
Bye now.
Why does this picture keep moving?
Hi, Nancy.
I'll be back in a little bit.
You're the bee's knees.
I guess I don't have to ask permission. I can just look at this.
Would it be all right if I used your sewing machine?
Go right ahead, but remember, you're on your own.
I need the needle.
There's
for
no
it.
needle.
It's probably in the box with the rest of Mom's sewing stuff. Ask Jane if she knows where it is.
Okay, and now I will go back down the stairs. So again, this is one of those things. It's like it's just meant to eat up time. Which is kind of frustrating.
What's cooking?
Would you happen to know where the needle for the sewing machine in Emily's room is?
I moved all of Gloria's sewing things out of there and put them in a little box. Look, I'm supposed to get the pies we baked before all the hullabaloo this morning ready for the delivery man. They gotta be put in the shipping container just so, or he casts a kitten. This is how he wants them organized. Now why don't you go out on the porch and get those pies ready to go while I look for that sewing box?
Oh, I could go for pie.
Sounds good.
And this, I actually have written down. I'm assuming it's correct. I don't know if it's different for junior or senior detective, and I don't know which one these notes are for. Oh yes, hello pie. I'll just look at the things. I probably should. Oh, love cherry pie. I baked a cherry pie for Thanksgiving last weekend. It's pretty good. Okay, you need 2 large cherry. Who needs a small chocolate? I guess that's what that is. Oh. I didn't actually write out the answers. I just wrote down what's on that card. Oh, fine then. Let's simplify things. I'm just moving all the pies to their respective sections. Okay, and sorry, which side? Small pie always goes to the left. Not a large. I hope I read that right. Okay, so I know we need 2 large cherry. We need 1 small and 1 large blue for here. One small and 1 large chocolate, and then 2 large, which has to be cherry. So Riverville is complete. Where's this one? Need 1 and 1. Size is unknown. Appleton, 1 small and 1 large cherry. 1 small, 1 large chocolate. And then what the heck does my note here? 2 of the same size for blueberry. For the time being, I'm just going to put 2 small. It might be too large for all I know. Skydale needs 2 large blue. Oh, perfect. 2 large chocolate. Excellent. And 2 different sizes. Well, that makes that pretty easy. Okay, Knoxview. 2 of the same size for cherry. Which is probably going to be that. I'm just going to move those. Because there aren't any larges left, and I think I have all the cherries sorted. So, that's good. And then 1 large blue. 2 of the same size for chocolate. Let's make them both small. Smithfield requires 1 small and 1 large cherry. No blue. Alright, you need a blue. 2 large chocolate.
There
we go.
Should do it.
Lovely. Okay, and while Jane's away, I shall snoop.
I'll bet those are the 2 brothers that built the inn and Josiah's house. I'll bet this was taken in that passageway I found.
Note the hand.
There's something written on the back.
So this is if you haven't already figured this out. Found the secret passage. Because again, some of these things, there's not necessarily a particular sequence. It's not as linear as some games can be. Okay, is it this one? Indeed it is.
Why do I get the feeling someone's following me?
That would be creepy.
Jeepers! I'm behind one of the walls in Emily's room. I'll bet that's how someone makes that picture move.
Exactly. So, time to continue down the stairs. Yeah, so continuing back down. Ooh, and try not to get hit in the face by that door. That seems really close to where Nancy was standing. Feel like she kind of should have been whacked. Lee.
Guess I'd better not leave the lights on.
That's right. I mean, I really appreciate that they say that, or have Nancy say that, but she says it every time. It's kind of annoying. Okay, I should speak with Jane, and I've noticed this for a while and just haven't pointed it out, but she's really fuzzy around the edges. Like, you can tell that she's been inserted into the scene, which is unfortunate. And then when you go up close and actually talk with her, she's smoothly integrated. But yeah, it really stands out, which is unfortunate. We should actually have a quick chat with her, get that sewing needle.
Thanks for doing the pies. The more I do it, the worse I seem to get at it. Here's that box. I'm sure that sewing machine needle is in there somewhere.
I see it.
It's front and center. Hard to miss.
Remember, when it comes to using it, you're on your own, kiddo.
I think I know why Emily has been seeing and hearing strange things.
Well, I'm all ears. Tell me.
I found a secret passageway that goes from the inn to Josiah Crowley's old house. And off of it, I found a staircase that leads to a space behind a wall in Emily's room. That's the staircase that's in this old picture.
You mean the noises that Emily's been hearing? The things she's been seeing? It's because someone's been sneaking around behind the wall in her room?
Which is, oh, as already said, super creepy.
It may even be that someone is trying to scare her on purpose.
On purpose? Who would want to do something like that?
I was able to open the staircase because I saw the picture I just showed you. And I found that picture on the shelf in your podium.
You mean it was right there under my nose? Hold the phone! You think I'm the one who's been sneaking around?
I have to say, I really like the delivery of this line of "hold the phone." Like, you can tell she's really offended, whether or not, you know, it's whether or not she's telling the truth or lying. It's still a really good delivery. I really appreciate that. The voice acting was done really well.
Can you think of somebody else who may have had access to that picture?
Anyone who's ever been behind this desk could have seen that picture. It's hardly fair to go pointing a finger at me.
I'm not actually going to apologize. I'm just going to change subject a little.
Maybe Emily will know something about it.
She went into town to run some errands. At least that's what I told her to do. Heaven knows she could use some fresh air.
Well, I'll talk to you later.
Bye now.
That's good. If she's away, then I can snoop in that window seat drawer. Yep. So we need to look at this letter. You'll see bottom is capitalized. This is intentional. You are a kind lady who sparkles like good water and makes me think that the sky is the limit. What a beautiful sentiment. And it's actually really important. And I have that jotted down. Yes, I do. Lovely. And before I sew, because I will avoid that at all costs, we are going to listen to this record. These sounds, the parts in red, are important.
I'll never forget the night it all began. That dark, stormy, fateful night when I decided the time had come to rid the world of the creature. But it would take money to do that, and to get money, I needed to confront my arch enemy, Nick, who had recently become able to transform himself fittingly into a giant warthog.
Warthogs are awesome. They're so funny when they run.
When his forest hideaway came into view, I dismounted and approached the door on foot so I could take him by surprise. My fear that he would hear me proved groundless, for a terrible storm began to rage, washing away the sound of my footsteps. I peered through the rain-streaked window beside his front door and could see him sitting in front of the fire. He had returned to human form, but the malicious smile on his face suggested that he was recalling his recent porcine exploits. Seeing that the door was unlocked, I hurled it open and marched across the room toward him. Step away from that bottle of warthog potion, I commanded, and give me the 20 gold coins you stole from my poor servant. I'm not going to give you a thing, save, perhaps, a taste of my sword. And with that, he drew his sword. In an instant, I had drawn mine, and so commenced the fiercest sword fight the world had ever known. The storm raging outside paled in comparison to our battle. To my surprise, Nick's experiences as a lower life form seemed to have improved his skill as a swordsman. I feinted, I parried, and yet victory eluded me.
Sounds like Nigel Mukherjee there.
And soon I began to feel my strength ebbing from me. I was tiring rapidly. Summoning every ounce of what little energy remained in my body, I lunged at him one last desperate time.
Ouch! Why, you've wounded me.
I had managed to wound him on his right arm, just above the elbow.
Curse you!
His words, punctuated as they were by an untimely clap of thunder, sent a shiver down my spine. "Save your breath," I intoned, "and give me those gold coins."
Here, take your precious coins.
He tossed the bag of coins onto a chair, but as I reached for them, he reached for his bottle of potion, and in a matter of seconds, my night had gone from bad to horrible.
Well, that is quite the story. But anyways, we need to know those sounds, and I haven't actually looked at the trivet, but here we go. Those sounds in the order relate to particular letters, which we will use in a little while. Okay. This thing that I don't want to do.
I can't sew with that.
Well, I thought I could look at it more closely before putting in the needle. Oof.
All I need is the dress Jim
Yes.
Archer gave me, and I can start sewing.
I'm really putting this off. This is just the worst. Oh God. I'm going to do this really slowly, and hopefully it'll be okay. It's not perfect.
I'd better start over.
No!
Would I wear this? No. I made too many mistakes.
I was
I'd
doing
better do
really
it
well.
over.
This is, seriously, I'm going to just keep saying, this is the worst. Oh, shoot.
I can do better than this. Too many mistakes.
I don't think so.
I'd better do it over.
Oh, man. This is the bane of my existence at the moment. This looks
I'd better
horrendous.
start over.
Yep.
I made too many mistakes.
Seriously.
I'd better do it over.
Like, is there a cheat? Like, I always thought that if I just kept my cursor really close, that would help. Because that helps with some tasks. I don't know that that's necessarily the case here. Oh, maybe this works. Like, to me that just looks even worse. Way over. Shoot.
There. Not bad, Miss Drew. Not bad at all.
As someone who sews, that was horrendous. I disagree vehemently. It's just, that was bad. Oh well. It's over. It's done with. I don't have to do it again, thank God. I should say, I hope I don't have to do this over. So, my recording bar is not here. So I always have to pause because of, after like 40 to 50 minutes of recording, the sound gets garbled. So I have to stop and then start recording again. Sometimes the bar doesn't come back. So I'm not actually positive if it is recording at this moment. Yeah, it didn't the last time I did this for Curse of Blackmore Manor, but I've just done a bunch of tests before doing this recording. I think it's recording. The point of this is hopefully I do not have to sew again. Not that you guys would know. I don't know why I share this. Waste of breath. Okay.
How's the dress coming?
I don't like either of these responses, although I guess this is the simplest.
All done.
This is beautiful. Thank you.
Sure.
Now let's see if that key you found opens up Josiah's safe deposit box. That was Josiah's key, all right.
Here we go.
That is not Josiah's will.
It looks like some kind of journal. Would it be okay if I kept this?
If it was money or jewelry or something like that, I'd turn it over to Topham. But a journal? Finders keepers as far as I'm concerned. I'll be at my desk if you need me.
Okay, I think you spelled Goodfellow.
It's locked. Naturally.
Yes.
Flute, 7.025 megahertz. Pop.
Oh, that's why it didn't work
That's
before.
what Josiah played in A Midsummer Night's Dream.
I had these jotted down and I thought they were in the little notebook in that elephant drawer.
Pyramis, 7.057 megahertz. Thisbe, 7.050 megahertz. It looks like some kind of record of the people Josiah talked to on his ham radio.
That's fine.
Anything else I can do for you?
I guess I'll be going.
Goodbye now.
I was thinking that, so that was a task I thought I could do earlier. No, because again, I'm relying on notes I wrote a long time ago. So I was sort of getting ahead of myself when I tried to use the radio earlier. But it's okay. I feel like we're kind of coming close to the end. Do this. Yes. It's nice I don't have to rearrange the mirrors each time. I feel like you should be electrocuted. If you electrocute to that, like it's a little sketchy. Like, what was Josiah's background? Had he studied electrical engineering or anything? I don't know. Okay, let's see. Where are those notes? I have, here we go. So we've already got the 7 set up. So let's go to 2, or 0.02 rather. And then 0.005 for flute.
Is anyone out there? Hello? Can anyone hear me?
This is Flute, but you sure don't sound like Puck, so explain yourself.
My name's Nancy Drew.
So where's Puck?
Well, I'm pretty sure Puck's real name was Josiah Crowley, and I hate to say it, but he passed away earlier this year.
Ah, that's a shame. Heck, I never got to give him his sentence.
What sentence is that?
Well, see, a while back, Puck dictated a sentence to me and told me that if and when he recited a certain passage from Shakespeare, I was to respond with that sentence. Weird fella, that Puck.
If I tell you the passage, will you tell me the sentence?
Well, yeah, sure, I guess. Especially seeing as Puck's no longer with us.
Should be this one.
Shall we their fond pageant see? Lord, what fools these mortals be.
That's it. Here, let me check my logbook for the response. Now I'm supposed to say, leave by road when the owner is in, because then there will be thieves about.
Leave by road when the owner is in, because then there will be thieves about?
Those were Puck's exact words.
And thankfully I have that already jotted down. Woohoo!
Did you know Puck very well?
I felt like I did. Met him over the radio a couple of years ago. What a character. What'd you say his real name was?
Josiah Crowley.
Strange. I never heard of him.
Why is that strange?
He led me to believe he was this big cheese out in Hollywood, you know, some famous producer, director or something. Said he owned his own studio.
He didn't own a studio, and he certainly didn't live in Hollywood.
Nope.
I'll be darned. So he was just lying to me. Well, that's all right. I may have told him a fib or three over the years myself.
Fib or three.
At the time I told him I was a scratch golfer. I don't even know what that means. In any case, hope I've been of some help. Over and out.
And may that serve as a lesson to anyone watching or listening to this, that you don't necessarily know the person on the other end of your communication device. I mean, if they're a stranger, they could be lying to you. And this is why there are parental controls with regard to the internet, and why people are always talking about internet safety. We've just illustrated it here. People lie, they can be deceptive, and harm can come out of it. So just to be cautious about sharing personal information with people you don't know, particularly over the internet and different outlets over there. That's my PSA for Secret of the Old Clock. Let's move on. So we need 0.05 for the next two contacts. Can I turn it that way? No, so I guess I'm going to Thisbe next. Oh no, I went right on past. Let's go to Pyramus then.
Is anyone out there? Hello? Can anyone hear me?
This is Pyramus. Who are you?
My name's Nancy Drew. Does somebody named Puck usually call you on this frequency?
Somebody named Puck used to. Apparently he found something better to do. Haven't talked to him in months.
Well, that's because he passed away not too long ago.
Oh, well, that's a good excuse, I guess. How'd you know he called me Pyramus?
I'm a friend of his. I found your name and radio frequency in his journal.
So why are you talking to me?
Did Puck, ever ask you to tell him something whenever he read a certain passage from Shakespeare?
Whenever he rattled off this Shakespeare quote, I was supposed to rattle off this stupid saying he gave me. How did you know about that?
Long story. But if I were to rattle off the quote, there's no reason why you can't tell me the stupid saying, right?
Well, come to think of it, he never said the quote had to come from him. So, yeah, I guess I could tell you.
Perfect.
Thou speakest aright. I am that merry wanderer of the night.
How'd you know?
Long story. What did he tell you to say in response?
Wait a minute. I had to write it down. Here, you're gonna love this. A barking dog would do well to hold his tongue in a dangerous neighborhood.
A barking dog would do well to hold his tongue in a dangerous neighborhood.
I told you it was stupid.
I really appreciate your help.
Just out of curiosity, what kind of car did Puck drive, do you know?
I don't think he had a car.
And he tried to tell me he was rich. Over and out.
I really like that conversation. Nancy constantly saying, a long story, trying to cut him off and move things along. Alright. Oh, I have to set this one.
Hello?
There we go.
Is anyone there?
Oh, Thisbe.
Hello?
I'm Thisbe, but only Puck calls me that. Who's this?
My name's Nancy Drew. I'm afraid I have some bad news about Puck.
Oh dear, they closed the play he was starring in, didn't they? That's why I haven't heard from him. He's too far down in the dumps. Oh, I was afraid it was something like that.
Actually, you haven't heard from him because he passed away several months ago.
Oh my. That's worse, isn't it?
Well, yes.
And after all that rigmarole he went through, making sure I knew my line and understood my cue?
Your cue?
Yes, you see, Puck, or whatever his real name is, or was, Puck wanted to share his love of acting with me. So he gave me a line to say, a very curious line I might add, and told me to repeat it only after I heard my cue. A passage written by Mr. William Shakespeare.
So if I cue you with a passage, you'll respond with the line he gave you to say?
Immediately. I know it by heart, you see.
Here goes. If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear.
The authorities are alert for bad water. so do not go this way.
The authorities are alert for bad water, so do not go this way.
That's what I was to say, although my delivery was much better when Puck was coaching me. And now, as Puck was fond of saying, I bid you adieu. Over and out.
It's adieu. Adieu, not adieu. That hurts me so much. Alright. So, we now have all 4 of the strange sentences.
I've seen these symbols before. They were in that newspaper story about hobos.
Okay, we need... It was leave by road, so hit the road, which is the double arrow that way. Owner is in. So owner's in. It's the weird, this one. Thieves about. 2 over the 10. There we go. Perfect. So now, Thisbe's line. Authorities are alert. Oh, this one, the sort of mountain one. Authorities are alert for bad water. That was on the other side of my paper here. Box with a circle and water. This one, right? Bad water. Yes. So do not go this way. Is that on the other side of my paper? There's no use going this way, so arrow, that one. Perfect. Okay, Pyramus. Barking dog. Double W. Hold his tongue. So something about keep quiet. Yeah, keep quiet. This one. Dangerous neighborhood. That one. Okay, and then bottom. So that was the from the note to Gloria. So kind lady. Where's the cat? There we go. Good water is this one. It's fresh water, so good water. Sky's the limit. Double line. Oh, all right. So your goal, pardon me, sorry, your goal is to reach the end of the path and to land exactly on the last spot on the board. No going over. This is where I occasionally fail and have to redo the game. Each card can only be used once. You do not need to use all of the cards. To take a shortcut, you must be on a spot with a picture on it and use the same picture to take the pathway. Good luck. I don't have this jotted down. I don't think I've ever made note of the sequence for this. I'm just checking my giant piece of paper here. I don't suppose I wrote it here. Negative. Alright. Well, we'll see how many attempts it takes here. So you don't necessarily want to take all of the shortcuts. I think I want this one and that one though. So the snowflake is 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I was thinking I needed the water drop. Oh, we'll give it a try. Snowflake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the butterfly. I think I've done this wrong, but that's okay. How many moves do I have left? Total, I have 12, 14, 15, 18, 24. Eey. Any more shortcuts available to me? Only that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which I can do. I'd use up this, the 5 and the 2 and then the 7, which leaves me with 10 moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I'm hooped. Okay. So maybe I want to get here. Which makes sense. I use fewer to get there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, So yes, 15. I think I want to keep the 1 for over here as well. 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't want to use the 5. The 5, 1, or 2. So what adds up to 15? 9 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1. Okay. So as far as moves that I have left available to me, I have quite a few. 17, 20, 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I can do 21. Do it this way. Excellent. 2 tries. Whoa! I wonder there's a hole in the ceiling there. As long as the carriage house not burned down. Okay. Ooh, yes, a note. That helps. Take this to Tiny Town, and for oodles of fun, use it there to hit a hole-in-one. Okay.
A golf ball. No doubt meant to be used on that golf course of Josiah's.
Baby. Yeah, nearing the end. Can I just go there? Yes. We're gonna pretend I picked up a golf club. How neat. Here we go.
Another safe deposit box key?
Oh yes. So now, let's go see Jim Archer.
Emily, please,
Oh.
just settle down. It's all right. It's not all right. Stop lying. Something's wrong with me.
You've got to go talk
check.
to Emily. She's in a bad way.
Did you tell her about the secret passageway I found?
I never got the chance. Please, go talk to her. She won't listen to me. I'm no help at all.
I apologize if you all just heard my stomach grumble. I don't know if the audio picked up on that. It was not a quiet affair.
Just go back to River Heights, Nancy.
But I think I know where the real Will is.
It doesn't matter. I can't run the inn anyway.
Oh.
I'm going to have to sell it.
What do you mean?
I took a nap after I got back from running errands, and when I woke up, this was in my hand. It's one of the necklaces that I thought had been stolen. I have no idea how it got there. I must do things and not remember. All this responsibility on top of losing Mom. I can't cope with it. I'm having a, what Jane call it, a nervous breakdown.
Poor girl just feels so defeated. That's really upsetting.
No, you're not.
I don't want to talk anymore. Go home. You're just making things worse.
Reminds me of Jane in The Curse of Blackmore Manor. Okay, well. Oops. Now let's go. Take a little drive into town. Should have enough gas for what's eventually to come. Oops. Bad driving.
Hello again.
I found another safe deposit box key that belonged to Josiah.
Impossible. Josiah only had one box, and you've already opened it.
That's what you think.
Can you tell me whose key this is?
It is one of ours. Where did you get it?
I won it playing golf at Josiah's with a special ball. I had to ace one of the holes.
Why does that sound familiar? I know why. That's what Clara always called me, her ace in the hole.
That's who this key belongs to, Clara Pickford.
So, Clara Pickford was really Josiah Crowley in disguise.
Apparently, he loved playing tricks like that on people and hiding things right under their noses.
There we go, the last will and testament of Josiah M. Crowley.
I wonder what this is. Gloria Dowd, now Crandall.
Why
and
would he
Jane
have this
Willoughby,
picture?
Circa 1912.
Jane Willoughby? That doesn't look the least bit like Jane Willoughby.
No, it certainly doesn't. I'd better get back to the Lilac Inn and have a talk with her right now.
Here we go. Ending scene.
Move out of the way, would you please? I'm kind of in a hurry.
You're not going anywhere until you tell me who you really are.
What are you talking about?
I just saw a picture of Jane Willoughby, the real Jane Willoughby.
It's been swell knowing you, sister.
I can't let Jane out of my sight.
Okay, I really hope my cursor doesn't fail me. Because it likes to do that. Oh no, oh no. Nope. Ah. Let's try this again. Second chance.
I can't let Jane out of my sight.
So far, so good. Ah! Shoot. I don't like this ending either.
I can't let Jane out of my sight.
Oh.
I'll bet she's heading for the state line. I know. I'll take a shortcut and head her off.
There we go. Only took 3 tries. That's nothing, honestly. Ooh, pie. What a delicious
Why
mess.
don't you just mind your own business?
Dear Ned, I know you'll be home from school in a couple of days, but I couldn't wait to tell you. I just solved a mystery. I figured out that Emily Crandall's guardian was really an imposter named Marion, who intercepted the letter Emily wrote to Jane Willoughby after her mom died. She pretended to be Jane not only so she could steal Emily's valuables, but so she could convince Emily that she was incapable of running Lilac Inn, and that she should sell it and split the money with her. On
How
top
cruel.
of all that, I found Josiah Crowley's real will. In it, he left Emily so much money that she'll be able to hire all the people she needs to keep the inn going. He left Jim Archer a ton of money too, which means he won't have to close his bank. And from now on, he'll be able to buy his wife a new dress anytime he wants. As for Richard Topham, Josiah left him nothing. Although Topham still refuses to admit that he forged the first will and insists that he's going to contest the will I found. Dad says it's highly doubtful he'll succeed, and that he'd be better off sticking to spoon tricks. Anyway, when you get home, I'll give you all the details over a nice big piece of slightly damaged cherry pie.
Yummy.
Wait till you hear that part of the story. As always, Nancy.
Stomach's rumbling even more. I really want pie. Hey, sassy detective, congratulations on cracking the case. You've been awarded the title of... So you usually get something along the lines of like Puzzle Master, and I don't remember what the names are for these awards, but it's usually something along that line. Puzzle Pro, there we go. For solving puzzles at lightning speed. Heck yes. Notes are helpful. Trailer time.
Great news!
Yes.
Frank.
Yay.
See, Frank and Joe Hardy have invited me to help them solve a mystery. Only this mystery takes place on a train. But not just any train. A train that was found abandoned years ago in the middle of nowhere. All of its passengers had simply vanished. Some people say the train is jinxed. Others say it's haunted. I mean, it'll be fun to finally get to work alongside the Hardy boys. But I just hope the trip we're going on doesn't turn out to be, you know, one way.
Yikes. Love it. love that game. I'm excited to replay that game. There we go, folks. Secret of the Old Clock. I really like this game. It's pretty light. It's fairly easy, with the exception of some of those trickier puzzles. Like sewing is just, ugh, it's horrendous. But otherwise, it's, yeah, well, I just said it. It's really light. I really like that, and it doesn't take too long. It's just a pleasant story. I really like that it's set back in 1930. I think that was really appropriate and obviously done with intention. I like the characters. They're all quite different. They have their quirks. I mean, I don't like Richard Topham just as a human being. I think he's despicable, but you know, he adds to the mix. I didn't talk to him as much as I think I could have, and that's intentional. I don't like talking to the characters when I've played the game so many times. If I can avoid it, I would rather just solve puzzles. And I love the puzzles for the most part, again, not the sewing, but I really like the puzzles in this game. Mini golf is sometimes a headache, but that one also aside, I think the activities are fun. I enjoy the pie puzzle. Doing the different clock puzzles were also really neat. I mean, pretty basic, but that was nice. And again, no headaches with those. So not too many super difficult things to do in this game. Yeah, just overall, I find this to be one of the easiest games of the series, and I'm okay with that. I like having a balance of different difficulty levels span across the series. Music is great. I love this soundtrack. As I already said, I listen to this constantly. It's one of the soundtracks I listen to at my current work and one of my previous places of employment. It just is so upbeat and perky and pleasant. Great to listen to. What else? I'm looking forward to doing the books to game comparison. I've already been able to pick up a lot of what's the same from the first two books. It's going to be neat to finish reading the next two and do that comparison. As to when that will be, well, in the words of Josiah Crowley, time will tell. Hopefully within a week. I'm actually heading out of town in a couple days here for a conference, so I won't be able to make the video or upload it, so that'll be, you know, when I come back. But that's okay, because I like to space these out by a bit anyway, so it'll probably be a week after this video, this current one, this playthrough is uploaded. What else is there to say? Interesting storyline, especially when you have read the books and you can pick out what's been incorporated from each story. So far I can tell you it's done really well. Like it's masterful. It's fantastic. But I really like that Nancy's helping this, you know, sort of acquaintance, not so much a friend because she doesn't know her very well, and just learning about Josiah and his interesting characteristics and different types of deception from Topham, you know, forging this will, from Jane, well, Marion claiming to be Jane and not actually Jane, Jim Archer pretending things are all right at the bank when they're really not, and even in terms of Josiah, he was deceptive as far as hiding his will. He made things really difficult. There are some consequences to that. You know, people were not getting the inheritance, if you will, that they had expected, and that really put people in poor positions. So, you know, maybe be careful if you decide to hide your will. Might not be a great idea. May add to people's stress, and your will might never be found, especially if it's if it goes under a different person's name, or, you know, it's under, you know, Claire Pickford's safe deposit box, not Josiah Crowley's. Anyhow, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I can just reiterate that I really like this game. It's a lot of fun. I have positive memories of first playing it. Again, I received it when I first came back from 3 weeks in Europe, and my wonderful jet lag led to an early start to my day, and I jumped into this game really quickly, which was superb. And again, looking forward to doing the book to game comparisons, which will probably be done in about a week once I'm back from Vancouver. Alright, thanks so much everyone for stopping by and watching my playthrough. I hope you enjoyed it. See you the next time. Bye bye now.